Hi, welcome back. Today, I would like to show you how to install XenApp 6.5 on Windows 2008 R2. So in my lab, first I have installed domain controller with Windows 2012 R2 and I have installing Windows 2008 R2. Here, I would like to provide some updates about the Windows 2008 R2 and XenApp 6.5. Before installing XenApp 6.5, we have to check on which server OS this XenApp 6.5 is compatible. If we are installing on 2012 R2 or 2012 or Windows 2008 server OS, so we will get this error, the error code -1. So if you are seeing this, we don't find any article about this, because this is completely compatible issue. So before going to that, we have to check which version of OS we are running. So we have a command prompt command, which is system info pipe to find str/c:/os. So this command will provide which version of OS we are running. So in earlier testing, I have tested on 2008 data center. It is not 2008 R2. So immediately I got this error. This is when the installation is done, before installation even. So when add server roles, that time I have received this particular error. Now I am installing Windows 2008 R2 data center. If you see the complete logo, so we have to understand this way or through command prompt. So first I'm giving IP address after my Windows 2008 R2 OS install. That is a post installation. First I'm going to disable firewall, and then I'm going to configure network card and disabling IPv6, and then providing IP 192.168.2.15, and I'm providing my gateway 2.1. This is my domain controller 2.10. So once I have provided this information, I'm going to change my host name of server. Just go to system, advanced system settings, and computer name. Here, the default name I'm changing to JDC hyphen XenApp. So it is asking restart. I'm giving restart. After reboot, I'm installing VMware tools on my guest machine. So just run the 64.exe. It's already installed, so no need to install. Now we are in control panel system. So I'm rechecking this Windows Server 2008 R2 data center, and I changed my computer name. Now I'm adding to domain. Now my domain name is testlab.com. So it is prompting administrator password and username and password. I'm providing administrator username and password. It will add to domain. So this is 64-bit operating system and 2008 R2 and domain joined. So again, we are restarting. After domain join, the VM rebooted and I have logged in with the domain administrator. So now I have attached my Windows 2008 R2 VM with XenApp 6.5 ISO. So now I have running autorun.exe install XenApp 6.5 server. So now it is prompting 3.5 SP1 not install. So please run. So just I'm installing now. It takes 1 or 2 minutes. Post .NET Framework 3.5 installation. Now we will see this screen. Now I'm adding server. Now I'm adding a role into server. Okay, just I'm clicking add server roles. So again, it will take 1 or 2 minutes. Now, after I clicked on add server roles, now we can see the first screen, select XenApp edition. So that is nothing but Platinum Edition, Enterprise and Advanced Edition in 6.5. So Platinum Edition will have the whole features, including Edge Site and other features. And Platinum will have lesser features than Platinum and similar to Advanced. So I'm clicking on Platinum Edition and accepting next. So here in lab environment, I'm installing license server, XenApp server, and store receiver also. So receiver is mandatory in the same server, even web interface as well. But in enterprise level, we will install each role in different servers, different Windows 2008 R2 servers. So license server in different server, and JDC, the first server is JDC Joint Data Collector, that is on one server. And receiver, anyhow, receiver for storefront, receiver for web interface, it is for every XenApp server we have to install. And web interface server has to be installed separately. And edge site server is another server. Provisioning server, we call it as previous. Previous is other one. And secure gateway, and it's a whole, we can say, it is a decommissioned product from Citrix. So now it is NetScaler. So even for software edition, we have NetScaler VPX. So we'll use, and power and capacity management administration, that is also we can install now. Edge site server is for monitoring 6.5. And as we know in 7.x latest version, we have director, but Edge site has its own database similar to director is monitoring database, but Edge site has its own, and we will install separately. And PVS server, if we are using PVS as a technology to spin our XenApp servers, so we'll use PVS server. And smart auditor server also we can install as a separate server. So in this lab, I'm going to install license server, XenApp server, and web interface server on the same VM. Click on next. One more is license server is default, okay. And these three are defaults. And optional components, XML service, IAS integration, it is optional. So now I'm not selecting this option. Yes, receiver for storefront we can install. Web interface also we can install on the same. I'm clicking on next. So just prerequisites. So these prerequisites can be installed by XenApp server while installing, and some reboots are required. Those are automatically taken care by XenApp. So all prerequisites will be installed by XenApp itself. I'm clicking next. Now installation is going on. We'll back once installation has been done. So it is installed. We need first reboot. So I'm rebooting. Just clicking on finish. Now it is asking reboot. Just I'm clicking yes. Yeah, after reboot, we can see go to all programs, Citrix. Only we have server role manager. Just I'm clicking that. Now we'll see resume installation. Yes, we'll click on that. So once you resume the installation, we will see the same screen where we had earlier. So just click on install. Now it will continue the rest of installation. So we'll come back the complete 15 steps completed. So post installation will back. Now the complete installation has been done with all products. Just I'm clicking finish. Now we can configure the licensing first and then receiver and web interface, so on. So first specify licensing. Before going to specify licensing, so first I had downloaded my license file using my host name. So the exact host name I have used for downloading license file. So when specify licensing, we will use the same license file. Now the first screen is enter licenser information. So in our case, the same server is license name. So just I'm going to command prompt and host name. Just I'm copying. And I will paste the same. Or we can say configure the license at later stage. That is also is possible, and this is also be possible. So we configure we install the licenser on the same server, but it is not taking. So we can say configure license server using policy, and we can say continue. Here, which one you want? The licensing model: XenApp, XenDesktop, concurrent, and select a method at later. But in our case, we are selecting only XenApp, not XenDesktop. So just apply. Because we haven't configured the license server, that's what it is saying. License server method can't be provided at this moment. Now we have configured licensing specified, which is through policy. So now we are going to configure XenApp. Now we are creating a new form. So we are clicking on create a new server form. So the server form is test is my server form name. Test CTX is fine. Next. A new database or existing SQL database. I'm saying new database and click next. And it is asking the new database credentials. And I haven't created any new database or a database server I haven't created. So I couldn't give anyone. So first I have to go back to create a new database server and then we'll back. So I'm clicking next. So here I'm using the local database, not any external Citrix Citrix, I can say SQL database server separately. So I'm using local database as access database. Okay, allow shadowing. Shadowing we'll see in the troubleshooting part. And this is my first server. So the option is grayed out. Enable controller and session host mode. And the second option, enable session host only mode. So when you are adding the new server, new XenApp server to the existing form, that time the second option will be enabled. Okay, so I'm not changing anything. Use a custom zone name, so default zone name. So here I'm not changing. And coming to the XML server, is the default port is 8080. So that is also I'm not changing. Receiver, it automatically the web URL will be created and add anonymous users. So without using a password, so we are not allowing any user to XenApp environment. So I'm unclick or clear the checkbox, add anonymous user, and add the list of users from the users group that's added. Add the authenticated users. These two I have adding. So now applying. So now it will be install MS SQL Server Express Edition because we are not prompting or we are not pointing to any SQL standard or enterprise versions, which is 2008 or 2012 SQL servers. So it is creating internal. It is installing a local SQL Express edition server, and that is the data store. And then after it creates the data store, then after initializing and it start IMA service using the data store and registered configure. So we will back once all these components are installed. Now the complete XenApp server configured. So it is installed MS SQL Server Express and create a data store in the same SQL Express edition and initialize the data store. And then after IMA service started. See, the IMA service is dependable upon LHC and data store. So the first step is data store, how it is starting. Right. So I'm clicking finish. Now we have to reboot the server. So we'll back once server rebooted. So first of all, we have to give the username password. Username is admin, password is we have to provide, and these are the license ports. License port 27000 is default port, and daemon port is 7279, and console port is 8082. So the post license server configuration, we have to give web interface server configuration. So I have clicked on configure. Post licensing configuration. So first I went to Citrix management consoles under license administration console. So I have logged in with admin and password under administration tab. So here I'm giving the license file name here. So I'm browsing desktop. I already downloaded the license file with my host name. So I'm clicking on import license. So it went to C program files x86 Citrix licensing my files. There we can see this one. So even we can directly copy paste this file under this path. So that is also fine. Or we can use the console option. Then okay. Then if you go to the dashboard, we will see the all these things. So log out and log in back. So we'll close and we'll back. Management console and licensing administration. So go to administration, admin, and password submit. Now we can see the available products licenses in our license dashboard console. So we have license for Edge site and PVS provisioning server concurrent and everything. Now, if you see the XenApp, I have only 10 licenses for concurrent. XenApp Platinum is only I have 10 concurrent licenses as evaluation. I have downloaded like that. That's how we can see only 10 licenses. After license configuration, I have clicked on web interface configuration. Now we have web interface management console. So here we have to create a website. First create website, and then first of all we have to create form as well. So the path name is XenApp. So we are not changing any default names. As usual, we are creating set as the default page for the IIS site. In IIS site, there are multiple sites we can create. So Citrix web interface also depending upon Windows IIS site. So next, so authentication. So here authentication is multiple types. One is access gateway or netscaler. So where we can pointing the LDAP authentication servers or Kerberos, or we have any third party Kerberos like a Unix Kerberos servers. So that also we can point out, or at any web server other than web interface server or ADFS account partner, that is also we can configure, or we can say the same web interface server. So here I'm giving web interface server only and click next. So it's creating site first. So the site is like the server name, the web interface server name slash XenApp. So the path will comes like that as IAS site naming convention. So we will add our XenApp form details as well here. So now configure the site now. Just I check that box, click next. What is the form name and give the form details. The form name is we have given test CTX, and we have to give the server name as is because everything is the same. So I'm giving host name. So JDC-XenApp. The same name I'm giving here, and we haven't configured any HTTPS, so we are configuring the same server. Click next. So the authentication methods explicit. So that means you have to give username and password. Pass through is just SSO. So once the user login with his domain credentials, so it doesn't require any extra passwords. So it will pass through. Pass through is smart card if you have any smart card. Only smart card anonymous. We already disabled anonymous in earlier session. So now I'm only selecting explicit, clicking next. Allow any domain, but here already we have a domain called testlab.com. So we are only allowing that one only. So if we are providing here the domain list in the web interface login time, we'll have this domain name automatically. Otherwise, you have to provide all the time. And the logon screen appearance is minimal and full. So normally I'm selecting full because the appearance will looks good. And published resources are two types, online and offline. So I'm selecting both, dual mode and finish. So we have configured the site, and the URL is JDC-XenApp, which is my XenApp server name, and Citrix/XenApp. This Citrix and XenApp slash is came from IAS. So the XenApp is online website, or we can say XenApp website is configured. And service sites we'll discuss more about in detail, first theory. So now we are not configuring the service sites. Now we are opening the first console, or we can say the main console of Citrix XenApp 6.5 is App Center. So once I clicked on App Center, so the first one is configure and run discovery wizard will come. So I'm clicking next. Single sign-on we haven't configured, so I'm unchecking the single sign-on. Only I'm checking this XenApp. And this is the local server. So I have added local server only. Click next. So now it will discover is this XenApp 6.5 installed on this server or configured or not. So it will discovering, and post discover we'll get the enable of finish button, and the complete App Center will be visible here. So now we have seen the discover is done. So we are clicking on finish. So now we can see text CTX is our form name, and rest all we have components, that is administrators, applications, history, load balancing policies, load evaluators, policies, servers, worker groups, and zones. So zone, default zone name, we haven't changed anything while we installing this XenApp. And our only one server, this is JDC-XenApp. It is same for our license server, our web interface server, and data store as well. Because data store we are using SQL Express server, which is 2003. So by default, if you don't have any external database server, so that time Citrix itself installs this Express server. So in XenApp 6.5, it is 2003 Express edition. And one more thing we have to discuss about data store. So in 6.5, SQL Server, MS SQL Server, and Oracle only supports for as a data store server in 6.5. Prior to 6.5, that is XenApp 5.0, it supports SQL, IBM DB2, and Oracle. These three databases were supported, while in XenApp 6.5, only SQL and Oracle, IBM DB2 was discarded. It won't support for 6.5. And in 7.x, the next version of 6.5, the 7.1 to 7.17. So what are the 7.x? So Citrix only supports Microsoft SQL servers. So no other database was supported for Citrix XenApp ZenDesktop 7.x environments. Thank you. Thanks for watching.